Or the fish that Achom has. The one.
So apparently,
She opened this page and was like, nah.
yeah, I know. Apparently, when you're going from Labuan to Borneo, they stamp a piece of paper with your boarding information on it, rather than your passport. So, okay. Also, you can't use a digital boarding pass. You have to like write it out.
So they can stamp the piece
So
of paper.
so they can stamp that instead of your passport. They were holding the stamp and they went to the page where they would stamp it, and then she was like, "Oh, psych!" Stamp the page instead. All right, well.
Now you like to occupy for passing by MH.
In-flight magazine, wrapping.
From Labuan to Kinabalu. Germany and check.
Let's go.
Para tetamu yang dihormati.
Yeah, my hometown is very dry. So we have forests.
Yep. To the only just copyright-friendly Fantasyland. Guys, it's even better. It's Disney's Fantasyland. Let's go. It's poppin'.
Utter bullshit. It's good.
Competition for the Pringles guy is the high-def Mr. Potato. Look at the mustache.
Also, these are purple.
Also,
Yam flavor?
these are purple.
Oh, sweet
They're
potato.
Gengar flesh flavor. So glamorous. Do they have this branding everywhere? Regular Pringle. Happy Pringles guy. Saucy barbecue Pringles guy. So,
You want to hold it?
yeah.
Claro, claro. Ya está verificado. No disfrute Yeah, that's perfect.
Off to find some cool animals.
Yeah.
There's a crocodile.
Just in the mud.
Just chilling.
That's what I think about it.
Oh, stop. He's like, you don't see it? You get cool.
Thank you very much, family.
You will go up.
Hey, buddy. Hey, man. How you doing? Oh! Alright, what's up? The end of the first day in the jungle. And if you thought that I wasn't going to be able to upload whilst in the middle of a jungle, you're wrong. Alright, let's hit up the notes. There are a lot of these that I want to get through, but I'm not going to get through them all today, so I'm just going to do the ones that are pertinent to the jungle. First one, well, first actually we'll cover sugar in gum. I feel like the world moved on from putting sugar in chewing gum. because it's just absolutely god awful for your teeth. Well, I was wrong, because apparently Malaysia didn't move on, or at least Borneo didn't. Let me not generalize all of Malaysia because I don't know, but at the very least, Borneo has not moved on, which I find very funny and also a little bit sad. So that's sugar and gum. That's that. Yeah, the tour was great. I'm gonna try and edit the video so that you can maybe see some of the animals, but the camera's super wide angle, so it's really hard to zoom in. Well, I couldn't zoom in because I only had the little thing, but then zooming would be digital zoom, so it would just crop it. Anyway, we'll see what we can do. But also, I got to see the animals, so I feel good about it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, environmentally friendly tours is the thing I wrote down. Yeah, I feel like there are probably environmentally friendly ways of doing tours and like not environmentally friendly ways of doing tours. I don't know that the tour that we're on is particularly environmentally friendly, but also, you know, it's kind of hard to. I feel like it's quite hard out here to be super environmentally friendly and affordable. I bet the very friendly ones are very expensive. But I've done a trek in Sumatra before, and they were very sort of like local development-y and sustainable vibes, but it was quite expensive. So it's kind of hard. It's a hard balance. So it's just something to think about when booking, if I'm going to book tours. But also, I don't like the tours. I don't really like tours. Generally, there's just something weird about it. There's something weird about somehow still remaining a tourist in the jungle. You know? There's got to be a way of not being a tourist in the jungle. Either with a guide that really, or like a small group or a guide, or you're off path to a degree where you're really like living it. Or, I don't know. Something else. But there's just something about a budget commercial tour that sits wrongly in my mouth. And attached to that, a couple of other points. We were going past a well, there's a lot of palm farming for palm oil, which is not, well, I suspect a lot of the palm farming here is not sustainable. And there was a very, very loud electric fence that was like cracking every 2 seconds. I asked the guy in the boat what the fence was for. And he said, for the elephants. And I said, why? And he said, because the elephants eat the palm where they need to get the oil from. And there was just some part of me that was like, okay, I guess that makes sense and is fine, but also it just kicked up a lot of bad tastes about like how damaging it would be to have a single tree everywhere that provides a specific sort of habitat and function for animals, but then stopping those animals from being able to use it. It's just weird, and I don't know that I like it. And there was a big movement Brie and I was talking about earlier, away from like unsustainable palm oil. So I wonder. Never really read about it or understood it fully, so maybe I'll read up on that. And then the last thing for today. No, I'll do two more things. One of the last things was the guys also had green laser pointers, so like very, very strong laser pointers. And they were like pointing them out, like pointing the animals out by like circling them in the trees and pointing the green pointer at them. And I was like, well, that feels a bit grim as well. Just because, what if it gets in their eyes? And can't it blind people if you get it in your eye? Let alone an animal that has better eyesight than us. Like, what happens if a bird gets a fucking laser shot in its eyeball? I feel like that can't be good. And at the very least, it's very annoying. But then, annoying animals is maybe like not that far up the list compared to blinding them. Maiming animals for no reason, just for tourism. So that felt a bit weird. But I don't know that it's like a major issue. It just felt a little icky, I welcome thoughts. And then the last thing I'll talk about today is alone time / solitude. I'm not someone who tends to need alone time to recharge. I tend to be pretty relentless socially, but I do really like it. It helps me think and process things, and I like to really go through thoughts I'm having in my head that pop up, like kind of stuff like that. And like, about the recent conversation about vegetarianism and stuff, if I was alone, I'd probably be thinking about that and how I feel and what that means and what I do. And I quite enjoyed the content I was making when I was by myself, and got to think about that too, which was nice. So it's interesting. People have told me before, when you're solo traveling, you're actually not alone very often, which has been true so far, but I've only been there for 2 weeks. But yeah, maybe something to think about, how to create a balance there so that I get a bit of both. But yeah, something to think about. I'm sure I'll think about it more, and maybe I'll keep it on the list so I can talk about it another time. I'll put solitude, keep it. Yeah, lots more to talk about, don't worry, but I won't pack more in today because you've got all that other stuff that you've looked at, all the jungle content. So maybe even more tomorrow, bright and early, 5:30 start for a 6 o'clock tour before breakfast. So, and apparently maybe Kirsten and Kat are going to be here tomorrow, we think. So that'll be fun. Update on that tomorrow. Alright, gonna get an early night, so I'm gonna edit this video and then go to sleep. Bye.